what's going on? I haven't checked it out yet. I did see the post though. Crack it open. Hold on, it looks. Let me try that again. Much better. It was it wasn't ratioing it correctly. Jesus. Okay, there we go. Looking pretty good, for sure. What I've done with a friend, we actually bought like FLG terrain. Oh my God. Is there any left in here? Hmm. I'm guessing that's a no. Time to open up a new one. I guess I could post it. It's the Orc terrain and the District 13 terrain. It's all pre-built and everything. Bought it a little bit a while back just because of something that may be happening soon. Ooh, I forgot. Let's see. Let me open up the store though. Terrain. That's one. That's the other one. They're both front. So, oops. So this is the District 13 one. And that's the Orc one. Man, my new schedule's gonna be kind of weird. Man, this thing got so stuck on the bottom of this, it's crazy. Like, I literally had to rip it off from the base over here. Even after twisting and twisting and twisting to try to loosen it up. It's so crazy. Probably not gonna glue that yet to the bottom just yet. Gotta clean out the bottom area and see what the heck was causing it to get so stuck. So one thing I gotta do is to varnish this tank, not tank, but transport, because it's part of my my playlist. Also, I'm 3D printing a what do you call it? A whirlwind. So hopefully I don't have to use mine. It looks really cool, and maybe I'll get some demolisher cannons, because man, they're actually pretty good. The demolisher cannons, or the vindicator tank. It's pretty crazy. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Gladiator, what do you call it? The Gladiator tank is actually really, really good. It's just that, especially the Gladiator Lancer, it's really, really good, in my opinion. But just the Demolisher Cannon, what's up, Francois? Just the Demolisher Cannon is like D6 plus 3, Strength 14, AP, is it 3? What is the damage too? Let me see. It's just pretty crazy strong for what it is. And it's pretty decently cheap. Oops, that's the characters. Vindicare. D6 plus 3. Strength 14, AP 3. D6 damage, and it's blast. Oh, good lord. So what's its abilities? Okay, its only abilities basically can shoot that big gun in combat. It was actually like that in the beginning with the Gladiator tanks. I prefer the Reaper variant. I prefer the Lancer. Just because I don't really have too many things that takes out vehicles. Taking out infantry is not an issue. And also just, oh, I forgot to paint that gold. Also just because you get the one free reroll to hit, one free roll to wound, and one free roll to damage. So you're essentially almost guaranteeing with whatever you're shooting with the primary gun, you're taking it out. That's the thing, though, is that you know you don't know what you're gonna face against, so you kind of have to have a kind of a jack of all trades type of army. So you have to make sure that you're able to handle everything, especially whenever you go like the one guy that plays Chaos Knights over here, 13 War Dogs, I believe that's what they're called. And they're all essentially dreadnoughts with invul saves. So their weakness is close combat, but you know, they're also fairly decent at close combat. Running those, what you call it? Those inner circle ones, is it? Anti-tank, anti-vehicle, 4+. Isn't that nice to have like specialty units like that. People are confused. How much are the chaos dogs? Actually, ballistas is 30 points cheaper. I ran ballistas, man, and I've flopped every single shot of the ballistas. I can't do it anymore. So I dropped the ballistas and put the lancer, and I'm performing so much better with the lancer. Ballistas only, I mean, I haven't tried it with the new Oath the Moment target, you know, with the +1 to wound, but I don't get any rerolls to wound, or to wound. It's kind of somewhat an issue. With my dice rolling terrible. And the sheer fact that I don't have to oath. Let's see. Well, to me, I don't have to oath what my Lancer's going to shoot at because it automatically gets one reroll to hit, wound, and damage. So I could just CP reroll one of the things, and hopefully only one of the things needs to CP reroll. Plus, it's considered a heavy weapon, so you know you get. I was gonna say you get full rerolls to hit if you oath your target. You know, you can make it a lot easier on yourself if you could oath it for sure. But with the Lancer, you don't necessarily have to oath the target. Just because of the rerolls. Whereas the ballistas, you don't necessarily have to oath your target too, but then you'll be suffering from the damage because of the missiles is only strength 10, and against transports you'll be wounding on 4s. Against tanks you'll be wounding more than likely on 5s. So you run the risk of not really wounding with the missile launchers. But my rolls have always been terrible with the ballistas. I've tried it so many times, and it's just garbage. Now, if someone obviously rolls much better, you know, I'd be jealous of them and then wish them the best of luck. Yeah, with the Lancer, it's not so much. Even though at one point I did CP reroll, I think a damage roll, and got the free reroll and still rolled 2 1s on that exact same roll. Rolled 2 1s and then CP rerolled and got the free reroll and still rolled 2 1s. So what can you do? But I still had better luck with the Lancer. Just park to take Marine. I don't know. There's not a lot of points left in the army. That's kind of the problem, really. I mean, dude, what would be better is if you go the Iron Hands, what do you call it? Iron Hands one. You get. I played two. I never really had a Tech Marine, but do the Iron Hands detachment. you automatically get a free reroll to hit or to wound, right built in, on top of your free reroll to hit, to wound with the Lancer. The Ballistas, you get free rolls to hit if the target is above 50% or above. So long as they're above 50% and above, you get free rolls to hit on everything. I mean, just that rerolls is really nice. So having a lot of individual tanks is so beneficial, especially if you get some built-in rerolls with those tanks. You know, you can reroll, like again with the Lancer, you get that free reroll to hit, wound, and damage, and then you just get one reroll to hit or to wound with your detachment ability. And then with the other thing, you can just CP reroll if you really need to. My biggest thing for me has always been like I like playing Gilliman regardless, so him being able to charge really matters a lot. So it's hard for me to get away from the Gladius detachment. I mean, don't get me wrong. Think. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love to play Anvil Siege because if they have already a heavy keyword, you get +1 to wound, which kind of makes it kind of useless in the new Oath of Moment a bit. I mean, that +1 to hit and +1 to wound if you stay still is amazing with like the laser destroyers and stuff. But you have to stay still, which is the biggest problem. In a game where you kind of have to move. It's hard to stay stationary. Well, that's the thing though, is that because the gun itself is super elite in a lot of sense. The damage is D6 +3, and if you roll a 1, you get the free reroll. Whereas the Ballistas is D6 +1. If you roll low, that's kind of it, unless you use a CP to reroll that. What do you play? Oh, well, I guess, what is the detachment that you play? I mean, that's the thing though, is that like, you know, you don't, with a Lancer, everything's built in, so it doesn't matter the detachment. You get that rerolls regardless. Let's see what this baby looks like with varnish on it. See if it pops even more. Oops, I forgot to paint that. Wow, that actually, the the varnish actually makes it look really good. That blue, make it pop a little bit more. Wow. Either that or I'm hallucinating. I'm not exactly sure. See, I missed some spots. The Deathwing attachment, giving all Dreadnoughts Deathwing keyword. So what does that do though? Deathwing attachment. Knights with Captain, Chaplain, 6 BW. Israel, of course. Mm. Yeah, I destroyed them though with Desolation squads. Because there's such a massive unit that I get so many attacks on it. I freaking wore that squad down so much. But I took out my Desolation squads though because God, I don't know. I'm thinking about putting them back in and removing my Whirlwind. Not sure. This guy looks man, that blue looking freaking good. That is looking so amazing. I actually really like it a lot. His eyes are a little bit hard to see, but there are yellow there. The model looks really cool. Still not really completely done with them, but I'm close enough. 1890 with menu libraries attachment. Let's see, hit those for. I did actually think, dude, Desolation Squad will freaking rip through them, man. It's just because I get like 150 rolls or something like that. It was crazy. Because my Desolation Squad is meant for Horde and Horde only. That is its entire purpose. Even indirect shots, I get like 50. I'm sure if you all top missile launcher guys pronounce. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know how well he rolled, even at 50%. I think they have 1 wound apiece, don't they? If I'm thinking correctly, if I'm thinking that's the correct squad, there's a squad that runs with like 25 models. It was just really crazy. 20, 25, somewhere around there. Oh, Interstellar. There's no way there's 3 wounds apiece for this guy. Oh, okay, okay. This is a different one. Never mind. There's a squad somewhere where it's like neophytes, I believe. Um, so okay, let that dry. Let that dry. Yeah, I need to make some room. I guess I can throw this away. And this. I'm 3D printing my yeah, I think it's Black Templars I'm thinking of, not Judy. Oof, drop pod. How much is drop pod? I think they're kind of expensive, aren't they? Relatively speaking, of course. Well, to me, they're probably expensive. They're dedicated no, they're not dedicated transports. So what are they? Drop pod? 70 points. Drop it right on top of an objective. Boom. Sitting on an objective now. So waiting on 3rd Legion Company last week. 5 man for a 10th Company edition. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you there. I can't remember how much are rhinos for chaos. Actually, let me see if I can see chaos. Chaos Space Marines. Ooh, good lord, they have a. Well, I should be able to see their cost. What would it be called? Chaos Rhino. 75 points. I think that's kind of the thing about Chaos is that they're not Primaris, so they can fit 10 models, and I think in a Rhino, if I remember correctly, which kind of sucks because I want to fit 10 guys into these things, and then just hop out and freaking assault. Hopefully, I'll move this so I can dry somewhere else. I think it's mostly done. There we go. Yeah, dude, I've been trying to do certain charges with like deep strikes and even reserves, and I've been freaking failing my charges. Good lord, even with the CPU reroll, man. Freaking, I'm getting tired of that. So now, here, let me show you, I guess, my list. This is my tournament list I'm going to show y'all. Let's see, tournament list. Okay. Uh, let's see if you can't see that. So, this is my Judicator, right? Lieutenant Titus, Marnus Calgar, Gilliman. I got the 10-man intercessor squad with a Thunderhammer, Impulsor with a Shield Dome, 6-man squad of aggressors. So the Judicator will be with the Blade Guard veteran. The Lieutenant Titus will be with the aggressor squads. Calgar will be with the aggressor. Lieutenant Titus will be with the assault intercessors. Blade Guard veteran and Calgar with the assault aggressor squads. Hell Blasters is just because I had 115 points left. I'll probably pop them in reserves and pop them where I need them at. They don't have to make a charge. They just freaking overcharge and blow up things, hopefully. I love this squad with the assault bolters. What I need to do is, because they typically put a whole bunch of cheap units to just sit on an objective, right? And keep them hidden, keep them far away from enemies. These guys can drop within, outside of 6 inches now instead of 3. But if I oath them, because of their assault bolters are sustain hits 2 and twin length, full reroll to hits, full reroll to wounds. And if you are in a Devastator Doctrine, you can give them Storm of Fire, which pops an additional AP and ignores cover. Really good. So now I have a Repulsor, and that's for the Assault Intercessors with Lieutenant Titus. Impulsor for the Judicator with the Blade Guard veterans because they can only hold 7 models in there. Then a Scout Squad to just bounce around everywhere. Whirlwind to again attack that back line. So that's kind of my tournament list. I haven't quite played this yet, so I want to check it out. Hopefully I get to play on Wednesday and see how well it does. Not a lot of models in this army, but think. Alright, let's see. Get that yellow and see if I can't still paint with it. Well, he has Facebook. And he also, I'm not sure what else. I mean, YouTube. Like Francois, man, I'm still waiting for that dry brushing, man. What's holding you up on that one? I couldn't remember what you said last time. If you did say anything about it, I can't remember. Hey, what's up, Adam? There we go. No, I've been up, Adam. I've been up, and I'm trying to finish up essentially my list for the tournament that's coming Saturday, and also trying to finish my painting on this one model from Infinity. I freaking absolutely love what I did to it. Although I'm almost done. I got to finish up the gun. It's not quite where I want it to be at, but I'm loving the line work I did. The little hints of little yellow, like on the back of his leg, and his butt that's so blue. I love the blue. Actually, it's really nice. And I also have to do something with the ground. I want to make it like a street or something, because it takes place in like a future. Okay. Gotcha. Hey, look, I did see some of your stuff, by the way, Francois. I was kind of that was kind of interesting with are those two Terminator librarians? I've never seen the one with the hands above his head with an axe. Is that like custom, or is that actually an official model? Let's grab another model. Um, yeah, because I never seen that librarian. That was a pretty cool looking librarian, I will say. Let me double check real quick. I would have figured maybe how did you do the hands though? Especially the one that's holding up the axe. Deathwing champion axe. Oh god, this guy has a face. Hmm. I need to get images of these guys so I can paint them appropriately. So I want to see what their idea is. Black, black, blue. I see. um, it's the one with the. Oh no, it's the axe one. Like I'm guessing the Deathwing's champion axe. How did you do it? Well, actually, both of them, honestly. I'm guessing you just kit bash them together from other pieces, because that hand, if you made that, that's kind of, it's pretty crazy good, but I'm assuming it's from another Deathwing that's holding his sword down on the ground like that. And I'm guessing the same thing for the axe too. You grab both the arms. What's the fun kit bash? Probably care from ninth kit. Dark Angels tie with Rogue Ultramarine legs section. Arms, aggressive, shoulder pad. Jesus, dude, Troy, that's like a an amalgamation of many different models. Dude's probably confused now. He has no idea who he is. And I thought Primaris were confusing. Now we get this dude's like a mix of all the chapters. Yeah, those two looks. Oh. Hmm. Interesting. Might do that in purple. Yeah, and you got the body kind of leaning too a little bit, so it kind of matches a little bit. Is this plastic or pewter models that you have on there? Because if this is pewter, good lord, what did you do? Okay. Huh. Interesting. I think, well, I guess technically this is an iteration of one of the Terminators when it was still plastic. Looks like I did some testing on his shoulders and colors. As opposed to this where it's freaking pewter. Hmm. Inquisitor? Don't think I've seen one. Inquisitor. That's Francois right there, I think. That's his family-friendly name. Shoot. Wow. Silver. It's a metallic silver, kind of. Just because I like the way the blue kind of comes off of it. It looks really nice. I don't think the blue would have shined as much under white or black, especially not black. It's going to be too dark underneath. I don't know if white would have done the trick either. I guess I could test that out. But I think the silver undercoating was definitely, it helped. I did some testing with Ultramarines blue and it looked really good. It's kind of hard to tell whether it's primed or not. You know, whenever I was priming, I'm like, did I get that spot? I don't know. Hope I did. Because the pewter and the silver just look so much alike. Shit. Such tiny models. they give it for free, I think, from what I'm hearing from these guys. I think they also do sell the rulebook. But mind you, the new edition just came out, so I don't know if they have like a rulebook or not. I mean, I'm sure they do. Don't be wrong. They should be wanting to sell stuff. But I mean, more important than just having a rulebook is, people to play it with. Screw the rulebook if no one plays it. Jesus Christ. Screw the rulebook if no one plays it. Jeez. That is super dark. More popular if they had one of... Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like our hobby shop over here, he used to have some. He doesn't really collect them or buy them anymore. He doesn't have a distributor for it. I don't know how it got popular over here, honestly. But, the local people were looking for something else other than just GW products, I guess. I mean, that's kind of strange, though. It's like saying, hey, the rules are free, and that's the reason why people don't play it. They want to pay for it. You know, but this goes back to another saying, though, that, if things are free, people aren't going to really care too much about it. I mean, it's kind of contradictory in some sense, but there's some truth to it. To get ninth because 10th has been. It's just it really takes like I think the group of people here, this really one of them quit 40K because it's disappointed in 10th edition, but I think it's a bit extreme, but people are different. I play it because there's a pretty large number of people. It's pretty interesting. It's a little bit different than 40K. The models do look pretty cool, especially the big model, which I want to paint. I'll show them just a little bit. I don't like they're starting to do like starting to use a new type of printing method for their models, like a thermoplastic, I believe it was, and I just really don't like it. The I prefer the all pewter, I guess. Really weird to say that, considering I didn't really like pewter with 40K. Worked a month, Consort's Codex per. It's cheaper. That's pretty bad. 10th is the best because I agree with you with that one, think. I think 10th edition honestly is one of the better release editions just because back in the day, if everyone, let's say the new edition comes out, right? Back in the day, let's say, I don't know what edition honestly they've been doing it in. Let's just say 6th edition, right? The first codex to be released in 6th edition would be the only codex and only army that's 6th edition compliant. Every other army is going to be 5th edition. And what they did with this one, I think, was pretty smart. You know, even though somehow people were disappointed with it, was the indexes. It's the way to bring all the army up to 10th edition. So you know, I don't know. What can you do? Original Sultan Covenant. And don't get me wrong, they simplified a lot of things for sure. It wouldn't be GW if they didn't mess up somewhere, right? It all depends. Too much oversimplified, I agree. But not enough sometimes can ruin a game. Like overcomplicated can ruin a game too. So it's always a balance. So, Francois, you'd be perfectly alright if Ultramarines are the overwhelmingly dominant force in 40k and no army can defeat them and have a 100% win ratio, and Dark Templars are the absolute weakest of all the all factions, include well all factions in general, and will never ever beat any army to have a 0% win rate. Don't get me wrong, balance is a good thing. Obviously, they will never get it perfect because it's too many variations. But trying to get somewhat close as possible, I think, is a good thing. Well, there's no balance in chess, really. It's just a mirrored battle. $100 in a month. No, it has never been balanced, but at least trying to be balanced is, I'd say it's a good thing. Because if it was never ever balanced, like terribly balanced, like the way not Dark Eldar, sorry, the Eldar were when 10th edition came out, it's crazy. Dude, 75% or 80% win rate, that was crazy. Well, that's the thing though, you don't have to have mirrored to have balance. StarCraft is balanced, but it's not mirrored. StarCraft 2 as well. Ooh, too watery. Well, I'm just saying, like, it can be balanced even though there are different variations. StarCraft is a decent example of that, where they've taken a lot of time, but mind you, it's only 3 armies, so and it's not easy to balance for sure. And obviously, you're talking about people's playstyle and stuff. The reason why it won't be balanced for sure, for sure. That's the reason why obviously 40k will never be truly fully balanced, but it can be balanced to a degree. But you wouldn't want it to be completely imbalanced, would you? Where, say, Deathwing could never win a game because one model in the Deathwing army costs 1,000 points. You know, it'd be completely unbalanced. I'm going extreme here, but you get my point. stuff should move with. Other Death Jester versus Crazy. This from balancing the. Yeah, and you're not wrong on that one. Like my one of the people that I play with, 40K always try to balance based on the tournaments, which is not what everyone plays. So it could end up ruining a lot of people's lists, like of everyday users versus say like tournament play. So I mean, he's saying that's not perfect and they need a better system. Well, sure, but what system is better? What can you do? If you're running the show, what would be a better system? You'd kind of have to show a proven system, which is, I don't know, honestly, I really don't. Unless what you'll have is like two different games, you know what I'm saying? Like one for everyday play and one for tournament play, which will have two completely separate rule sets or maybe even two separate point sets, which I don't think is a good idea. That's a whoopsie. I mean, I mean, they did have to make a lot of special rule for Titans for sure. And then same thing with aircrafts too, you know. I mean, we can complain all we want, but you know, complaining's not going to find a solution. What is the solution? Ain't nothing wrong with complaining necessarily, but don't just keep complaining. I don't know. I've heard like I watch Auspex. You know, I never really played during the aircraft era. And he said that you know finding a what do you call it balancing them was very difficult. And you know I don't know. I guess so. And I heard, according to at least Auspex, is saying like you know they tried to balance it, it became too weak, and then whenever they tried to balance it again, it became too strong. It's just trying to find that middle ground was very difficult for them. I have no idea. Luckily enough, I've never played aircraft. Never played against it either, I don't believe. So I have no idea what it's like. Glad I wasn't there for those days. Well, I'll tell you this now. Their their ability to write rules and to clarify it's terrible. There are so many rules that are so conflict with each other that people are still questioning to this day. I've heard from someone that apparently they kind of let people from other countries play test the rules, and then but it gets Google translated so much that that's the reason why you have certain rules that are just like, obviously there's a hole here. Why? What does it mean? Because for example, like Calgar's group, Calgar has two Victrix Guard. Is he leading them or is he part of the squad? Did they clarify that he was there's one squad? So that means technically, if you just have Calgar, he's not leading a group, even though he's leading a group. So he can't use his ability. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's just a few rules that are out there like that, and it took them a while to clarify, in my opinion. Hellblasters is another one, kind of, where their little second shot rule. They clarified something on FAQ, which contradicted the last FAQ that they wrote on there, but I think they're both are active. I don't know. jeez. Ooh, okay. I gotta call it because I got work. So anyways, this guy looking amazing. Can't get over it. I don't want to reveal it to my infinity until my entire army's built. Hopefully, it'll look as good as this guy does. But who knows? And hopefully, I will win the tournament this coming Saturday. I find there are a whole lot less holes. I don't know, not as of late, honestly, because there's a lot of ways you can interpret things. Now, mind you, they could have a particular mindset on something, and they could think, um, uh, okay. Let me ask you this real quick before I head out. Is Calgar in the Victrix Guard? Is he leading a unit? Mind you, because characters are always by themselves. So is Calgar leading a unit? Let me see. I can grab that for you. So keywords. Oh, shoot, my screen went black. So keywords there for Calgar. All models are infantry and Imperium. Marnus Calgar has character, epic hero, Gravis, chapter master, Marnus Calgar. Faction is Adeptus Astartes and Ultramarines. And that's the unit composition right there. One count Marnus Calgar and Victrix on a guard. So they're attached, which means he's leading them if they're attached. Mind you, they do use the word attached in the rule book. So I don't know what Calgar is 3 model. What do you mean by he's 3 models? Is he leading the Victrix Guard? So he's not attached to the Victrix Guard. Okay, perfect. Well, let's just leave it at that. We'll say that until you attach these. In fact, okay. So Calgar and the 2 models are 1 unit. So how does precision work? Yeah. So Calgar and the 2 Victrix Guard are considered 1 unit. Right, Francois? Is that what you're trying to say? That's what I'm assuming you guys are saying. So that way, whenever the Calgar unit attaches to another unit, it's it's weird to say, but yeah. So mind you, now we're just talking about Calgar's unit, which is the 2 Victrix and Calgar. No, you don't actually, Francois. You do not choose where it goes. You can only choose if there's a character attached to, like for example, like a guard unit, right? So if Calgar, if there's a captain attached to a bodyguard unit, that's where position takes place. Let me pull up position real quick, so we can precision. Weapons with precision in their profile are known as precision weapons. Each time an attack is made, such weapon successfully wounds an attached unit. See detachment ability characters. If a character model in that unit is visible to the attacking model can choose to have that attack allocated to that character model instead of the following normal attack. So only whenever there's a character can you choose to allocate. Otherwise, you can't choose. So mind you, you said Calgar and the Victrix Guard are one unit. And Calgar's not attached to it. I don't know. You know, let me. So just in case, I mean, I don't know if you want to pull up on the. That's the precision rule. Probably like crappy. You know, sorry, but if you have the rule book. Let me read this. When targeting an attached unit, the attacking model player can have the attacks allocated to the character model in that unit that's visible to the bearer. Assuming, of course, Calgar is visible. You know, no hiding Calgar in that one. So that's, again, it's kind of like, well, Calgar is a character, but, he's not attached when he's with the Victrix Guard. And the Victrix Guards are not bodyguards, so he's not attached. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I hope you can figure it out. I think we came with a ruling in our facility. I wonder if there's actually an FAQ for that. Let me see. But you kind of get the confusion. It would make sense that you can't precision Calgar if him and his two buddies aren't actually attached to another. That's not leading them. Yeah, I would say you can't position them. That's why the whole point of the Victrix. And that's kind of what our team kind of came up with. I don't see the conflict. I choose allocate wounds to a character. I can choose Calgar or the guard, the Victrix Guard. The Victrix Guard are not characters, but Calgar's not attached, so you can't, in a sense, position it. So it says while targeting attached unit, Calgar's not attached to anyone. So he's technically not attached, so you cannot target, because he's not attached, you cannot allocate the wounds. You know what I'm saying? At least according to the bottom part. Let's see. Let me read the top one real quick. Oh, yeah, it says there. Wounds an attached unit. Calgar's not attached when he's with the Victrix Guard alone. So what about that, Francois? I think you're right. I think the guards are in Calgar's data sheet. They're characters. Yes, but you cannot allocate because Calgar's not attached. According to the precision rules. Each time attack made with such weapon successfully wounds an attached unit, if a character model in that unit is visible. So attached unit is the key word there, I guess. Same thing goes here when targeting an attached unit. So you said that Calgar and his Victrix Guard are not considered attached, so they are just a unit together. So you cannot, according to what you said, and according to precision rule, Calgar is not attached, so therefore you cannot use precision. According to our inner circle, you can allocate the wounds how you like with Calgar's group. So, for example, just using these models as an example, this is Calgar, and these are his Victrix Guard. So what you can do is you can allocate all the wounds to this one Victrix Guard until he dies, and then with this two exactly. But you said you can allocate it to who you want, but yet you can't because he's not attached. Yeah. So, but the thing is, though, is that you're the one who made the, I guess, the wrong assumption here. by saying that you can. But again, it's I don't know. Anyways, so after you kill off the first Victor's Guard, then you can allocate all the wounds to Calgar. That's the entire point of the conversation. I thought I'm having a sleep. So, hey man, look, we're all kind of sleepy here. But yeah, you can at least as far as our circle says, you can allocate all the rest of the wounds to Calgar before the other guy does. I think the guard must die first. Exactly. So you would want to kill one guard first though, because you don't really need him. The reason why being is because while this one Victrix alive, Calgar has a 4 feel no pain. So, and we thought maybe the reason why is because for position, like you want to kill the guards first so that Calgar doesn't have the feel no pain. While this unit contains one or more Victrix Honor Guard, this unit's Malleus Calgar has the 4 feel no pain ability. Well, for the feel no pain, yeah, you lose one guard first, then you keep one guard alive, and that way you can increase your wound count. As a tournament, kill one guard and allocate towards Calgar, then back to guard. You cannot. You have to keep allocating to Calgar until he's dead. If there's a wound on a character, all wounds must keep continuing on that character until he's dead. So you cannot say he's one wound left, let me allocate the rest to the guard. That's not how wounding works in, at least in 40k in our rules. Once a wound goes on a model, the rest of the wounds must go on that model until it's dead. Yeah. So yeah, you kill one guard first, then with one guard left alive, you allocate the rest to Calgar, giving you a much higher survival chance because of the 4 feel no pain that Calgar gets. And the sheer fact that you can precision Calgar means that well, doesn't really matter really once one guard's gone. But then again, there is ooh, the like dev wounds with the Judicator. He has precision and dev wounds. Good lord. So again, uh, let me look at Calgar. One more other ability. Also, they did kind of clarify. While this unit is leading a unit contains a Marneus Calgar model, it used to say something else. It's kind of funny. It says while this unit is leading another unit while it contains a Marneus Calgar model, because clearly the unit itself is Calgar and friends, or soon to be just friend. Anyways, I gotta call it. So, anyways, I try to stream every day around 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try to stream for at least an hour to paint my models. Slowly trying to get my my 40k done as well as my Infinity, because my Infinity there's only 3, 6, 9, 12, under 20 models. So anyways, about 12 models in Infinity maybe. No, actually probably 20, maybe 20, I don't know. Less than 200 though, I'm sure. So anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, the stand up below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.